Yo, Commanders fans, I'm back at y'all with another video. This Gerard B with Gerard B TV. Hey, training camp 2025 is officially here. Lock in with us. We gonna have daily uploads, man. We on this train. All right. Hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 1K. Thank you all for subscribing already. Hitting that like button. Much appreciated, right? As we talk about the Washington Commanders for the first time in decades being legit Super Bowl contenders, right? We going into Ashburn like that, man. Jayden Daniels is already a star. Top five. The defense got deeper. We will see, right? How deep and if it's good, right? If it's good stuff that we got there. Like, what's the D-line looking like? What's the secondary looking like? What's the linebacking core looking like? We're going to touch on all of that in this video and more. So let's break down everything you need to know heading into camp. The tension, the storylines, the real competition, from breakout players and position battles to Deebo Samuels and Terry McLaurin. Man, let's get it, man. All right, so let's start with one of the heartbeats of the team, man. One of the OG Redskins, Terrence McLaurin. He's entering the final year of his deal. We all know that. We all saw the Eastern Motors commercial post-scrum last week where he spoke for 30 minutes, Mo. 30 minutes? That's crazy. Man, no press conference he's ever been in has been 30 minutes long. Now, granted, he's great for the community, you know, the culture for real, because he got his head on straight. But you can hear the passion in his voice, man. He want to be here, but he feeling a little slighted, right? Adam Peters being the bulldog. But I will say, he said that people haven't reached out to him in a month. DQ and them definitely said a month ago, everybody go on vacation. We turned off the lights. So that meant it really wasn't going to be much communication. These guys that signing these contracts now, their representation didn't have constant communication throughout the summer with these teams, man. You know what I'm saying? They just picked up where they left off couple days ago, if you will, right? It ain't nothing but a text message. You know, hey, let's get on the call for 30 minutes right quick and let's get back in, you know, let's start up where we was at before, basically. So you just got to think about it like that. But think about Terry, man. He been loyal through all the losing seasons, right? We drafted a guy to be a special teams demon, and he's all pro scary Terry. You know, that's dope. His contract does remain unsettled. But we are contenders now. And in order for us to maintain contender status, we need Terry in the fold. We need number 17, man. So let me know, you think he holding out? You think he going to hold in? What's the worst case? You think he going to demand a trade? Hey, let us know in the comment section what you think. I think the contract is going to get done. I think it's going to get done, hopefully, right before we go in the pads. Ideally, it's going to happen before the veterans report for camp and actually have practice. Granted, on Tuesday, they will be working out, having their conditioning drills and things like that prior to reporting on Wednesday. But yeah, as Terry said, time is ticking, baby. We got to get it, AP. We got to get it, man. And we going to get it. I have no qualms about that. I know that's going to happen. And let's move on to thinking about the expectations that we have this year. This isn't just another year, right? This is probably the most hyped season in Washington since 1991, I would say. The best team in the NFL history, 1991 team, back when dial-up internet was popping. AOL and all of that. We used to get the internet from the little cards. Listen, man, we coming off a trip to the NFC Championship game. Now, we were 60 minutes away from being in the Super Bowl. With that experience, we got a second-year quarterback that's already top five. And this time next year, he'll probably be 2 or 3, right? If everything goes the way we want it to go. Dan Quinn has built a culture And fast forward, man, just think about this time last year. We didn't know what we were really getting into with Dan Quinn. And now we just know we sure. We love what he's building. We love how the players talk about him. We love how the coaches talk about being here, right? How everything is intact, but everything's family, but everything's competitive. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. It's like you playing football with your brothers. You coaching with your brothers. He really built a brotherhood, a family over here in less than a year. And it's amazing because the old regime could never. But listen, this comes the hard part. We got to live up to these expectations, man. There's pressure. There's noise. Can we be the team that meets the moment? That's the question. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I think we will. How much so? That's going to be determined by the guys on the field and what they do in the classroom and what they look like, how they going to execute that on the field. But I'm confident in the guys, man. I'm confident in the guys. And if the hurt from last year's title game when we lost to Philadelphia is anything that's going to resonate with the locker room, man, to actually overcome and exceed, I don't know what will. Because that was an ass whipping, right? But we here. We here, man. We on the doorstep, baby. We are on the doorstep. And let's get into Jayden Daniels a little bit. Just a little bit. We're just going to touch on Jayden Daniels. I call this Jayden Daniels 2.0, right? Because JD, he just didn't impress, man. He exploded, all right? Last year was crazy. I mean, the boy was Rookie of the Year running away with it. We basically renamed the Rookie of the Week award the JD5 award. Like, that award needs to be renamed. Like, it shouldn't be anything but that. Because he broke the record last year. He was going crazy getting them Rookies of the Weeks. I mean, it was just a really great sight to see. Like, most of the season, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. Like, we just kept waiting for the fall off. And you can hear people talking about that. And when he come up in the top 100, probably rank top 10. You know, I got him probably about 11, 10, 9 through 11. I think that's where he's going to end up. They had CJ like 15, 16 last year. He had a better season than CJ. So I'm saying 9 to 11, that's the sweet spot for me. I'm just saying, man, he exceeded expectations, right? After winning the Heisman at LSU, when he came to the NFL, he made it look so easy, man. Like, the fact that he's improving from year 1 at LSU to year 2 at LSU, that improvement has me so excited for what he can do in year 2 in Washington with everything the same, man. From pre-snap reads, deep ball touch, pocket movement, throwing on a run, throwing across his body, making smart decisions with the ball, you know, making sure that he keeps the scramble alive, right? He makes sure that the play is always active. I got the ball in my hand. I am the playmaker. And he's usually the best player on the field. And if he is that, credit to Lake Lewis, if he's the best player on the field, we're going to win that game. If he's the second best player on that team, we're probably going to win that game. We got a great shot. And if we got the ball last, we're definitely probably going to win that game, man. Like, the dude is clutch personified. And it's amazing to watch, man. It's amazing. And I'm just glad he's on my team. I'm glad we got one of them ones and he's ours. Right? So let's talk about the offensive line overhaul. That's going to protect JD5 because that's really important when you come into the second year of a regime, a second year of a successful quarterback, when you want your QB1 to continue to ascend, right, and not be stagnant. You got to build around him, and the best thing to do is to build the trenches up front. Those trench monsters is important, right? We spent heavy in the offseason to do that, right? We traded for Laramie Tunsil. We drafted Josh Conerly, right? We moving Brandon Coleman to the inside, right? And we all projected Brandon Coleman to be a guard, right? Last year, they gave him a shot at tackle, and he did admirably, which actually makes me feel good, you know, if things happen to shake out in a few years, and they don't want to necessarily re-up Laramie Tunsil again once they do it this time, you might be able to just push Conley to the left, Coleman to the right later on down the line, or just go get a young buck to play the right once, because Coleman will be solidified at guard and you just don't want to mess things up. But you got options, right? We didn't have that before. So, I mean, we got two young pieces, really three young pieces on the O-line with Cosme as he's rehabbing back from his ACL. And I'm going to be honest, I'm praying that Cosme can make it back by the season start. Like, I'm in the back of my mind, I know it's not going to happen. But I'm telling y'all right now, I'm counting my lucky stars if that man is suited up for week 1, right? That'd be a beautiful thing. But if we don't get him till week 4, week 6, week 8, next man up, man. I'm not afraid of nothing, right? That's how JD got us thinking this year. We fearless, right? So listen, back to the O-line. The unit is bigger, stronger, and I'm gonna be honest, more athletic. Because you have those guys that were your starters last year, the Allegrettis, and the Wileys. They're going to be your rotational pieces, right? I mean, they're going to start here and there while Cosme's out, but they're rotational pieces now. So if someone goes down for a series or two or a game or two, really, it's that next man up mentality. Not saying that it's going to be great, but it could be good. Average to good is better than subpar and below average. And when you got JD5, you want him to trust what he sees up front. You want him to trust what he sees up front so he can get through all his progressions and then go through his progressions again. Because he reads and processes the field so fast. The boy probably reads the field twice. He probably could read the field twice. That's how dope JD is. But with the offensive line, I think with Laramie Tunsil, we got a potential all-pro guy there. And if he gets all-pro, you know what all-pro is. It's not all the popularity. You got to have some skills, right? You got to be good. But I really feel like he's going to get his just due because he's protecting the blind side of the face of the NFC, right? The generational talent in the league, the future face of the NFL. And then when you look at Josh Conley, the young pup, I'm going to be honest, like, they say he was the most athletic tackle in the draft. So I'm excited. I don't know what he all rookie team, I would say, is the floor for him. And, right now for this season coming up. And Brandon Coleman, I'm gonna tell you something. I've heard Street School. I heard Rico from Street School say this last year when he was coming out the draft. He said, "Man, this dude could really be all pro guard potential, right? All pro guard potential, like Sam Cosme." I'm not saying he's going to be that, but if you got the potential to be that, that means you're pretty damn good. And I would love nothing more to see that because he's athletic as hell. And the way we can move people and run those screens and jet motions and things like that to really get these big boys moving, them defensive lines and linebackers and corners and safeties, they going to hate us. We going to have people moving on them, yo, and it's going to be a sight to see. And the greatest thing about that is it's going to help, again, Jayden Daniels be able to survey that field and trust his protection up front. It's going to allow Cliff Kingsbury to be able to run different plays, different formations, get deeper in the bag, right? Although they may be simplifying things down for some, in some areas, they're expanding and exploding in others, right? Another thing that's going to be amazing about this offensive line overhaul, that running game is going to be better, right? I'm talking about B-Rob will be better, right? He ain't never had over 1,000 yards, right? We all know the story. He tails off toward the end of the season. Well, we've really been needing a running back by committee situation. And that should not be frowned upon by the fan base because I really believe, and most of y'all believe, Brian Robinson is probably best as a complimentary back. I won't even call him running back 2. He can be running back 1B, right? And that 1A guy, he has to develop on the roster. We all think it's our 7th round pick, Ja'Cory, but we got to see, right? But and listen, you have him back there. You got Ja'Cory back there. You got Brian Robinson. You got Austin Eckler. You got McNichols. You got a couple of the other UCLA. You got a UCLA guy. You got Michael Wiley and all of them. Listen, the running back position deep. It's a lot of competition there. And to be completely honest with you, I'm really hoping they let the best players play, right? If you showing up in practice, give him a shot, right? Like let us see what we working with. And I know in the preseason games, we definitely gonna get a chance to see a lot of these guys behind B Rob and Austin Eckler work. And that's we should be excited about that, to be completely honest with you. Um, but yeah, it's amazing how the running game fell off as the offensive line got banged up toward the end of the season. I mean, it goes hand to hand. It's like dependent. It's almost as dependent as the quarterback to the wide receiver relationship. So you got to always keep that in mind when you're trying to grade running backs. They're reliant on different positions to help them get to where they got to get to, man. And so moving on, we're gonna talk about Deebo Samuel's role in this offense, man. Wow. Deebo, we all want 2023 Deebo, 1,200 scrimmage yards. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy, right? I think we might get that. I think we might get better than that. I think we might get 2023 plus. I think we might get borderline all pro, potential Pro Bowl starter Deebo Samuels. I'm thinking we might see something we haven't seen. I know y'all been seeing the training videos of him working with Route God. Shout him out, man. Route God be putting in work, man. Hey, if y'all know him, hey, shoot him my channel, man. I would love to. I would love to work with the guy. You know what I'm saying? Just interview him and things like that. Just understand his story, right? Want to get in his head and understand how he does the things that he does with these receivers. It's amazing watching him do his work, man. Like the route guy, he be training them so hard. It's almost like he about to go into the game. And I love that, man. I love it. So really check out his channels at Route God on YouTube. Definitely check him out, man. But back to Deebo, right? He healthy. That's first off. A healthy Deebo is a scary Deebo. He is highly motivated. A highly motivated Deebo is a dangerous Deebo. A dangerous Deebo is what we need. Like, think about this. He had pneumonia last season, and the 49ers organization and fans was writing him off, man. Soon as he got traded to Washington, oh, Deebo's washed. Oh, he's out of shape. You have Philadelphia Eagles fans commenting on Deebo. Shows the fear, honestly. But anywho, like, Deebo gonna go so crazy in this Cliff Kingsbury offense, like motions, screens, jet sweeps. Deebo's gonna thrive in this offense. Defenders are gonna have no idea where the ball going, and when he get the ball and take that first step upfield, believe me, they gonna second guess how to tackle him. You got, like Dan Quinn said, you got to come to Deebo with a tackling plan. You don't always say that about wide receivers, where the defensive unit is talking about a tackling plan for you, how to get you to the ground. Guess what? You got to catch Deebo first. Deebo fast as hell. Like, they be really trying, my boy. Like, he ran, I want to say, over 20 miles per hour last year, a few times. Like, he not slow. And I bet you, with all this renewed vigor, I know y'all seen the Instagram post. Like, with all the renewed vigor, man, I bet you the boy gonna go absolutely ape this year. Like, it's gonna be crazy, man. Hey, that first RPO slant to him that go to the house, we gonna lose our absolute mind, bro. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see him do his thing, open up the really the field, the whole field for Terry to eat. Then you're gonna have, the Jalen Lanes and Luke McCaffrey's being able to eat and being able to show off their skill set because they got favorable matchups. Noah Brown. I mean, we got a interesting wide receiver room, and it's gonna be something to behold, to be honest with you. And I'll be honest with you. Uh, we definitely got to talk about wide receiver 3, right? Now, I know when it comes to wide receiver 3, it's probably going to be by committee a little bit there. Like, Luke McCaffrey and Noah Brown, obviously the front runners. I feel like Noah Brown got that job, but he had that little injury scare, so Luke might have jumped him a little bit because Luke was doing his thing in training, and I mean OTAs, per a lot of the beat reporters on the ground. So we gonna see. We gonna see how that looks, how that shakes out. Michael Gallup, he trying to resurrect his career. We'll see where that goes. Jaylen Lane, do not sleep on the rookie, man. He is fast. He's like Deebo electric, if you will. Like he's gonna be a fan favorite for sure, especially because he's gonna start as our punt returner. He's gonna start potentially as our kick returner because they might not want to have Eckler back there anymore, with their concussion issues and things like that. So if you're really thinking about it, you really want Jayden Lane to be that starter special team guy and then have him be able to get on the field and spell guys and things like that. Like this really probably is the most underrated position in camp, that wide receiver 3, 4, and 5 position, like because they're gonna be vital to like how Jayden Daniels' overall numbers and how the offense actually runs as a whole. Because you want those guys to be able to eat because the front running guys, the Zach Ertz, the Terry McLaurins, the Deebo Samuels, they're able to like carve out so much space for them. And the defense is really worried about where they're going to go with the football, that we overlooking Luke. Oh, we forgot Jaylen Lane going to run over top. And now Jaylen Lane took top off the defense, for a bomb. And Jayden Daniels' deep ball accuracy is the best in the game. So we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see some things this year that we didn't get to see last year at all, man. Snap projections, I really wish I could touch on those, man, because I'm thinking, like, ideally, if you could get Luke and Jaylen to really be that wide receiver 4 right behind Noah Brown, and they both getting 20, 25, 30% of the snaps and still being able to lock in on special teams. But those snaps that they're getting targets, right? So not only are you spelling the starters from having to carry the load as much, but these guys is getting 40, 50 yards, in a game, and that's helping out everybody. That's making it. And when we get to the fourth quarter, they're not going to know what to do on fourth down against us if we got to go for it on fourth down. It's going to be amazing to watch this battle with these wide receivers. And if you can't tell, that's one of my favorite groups because we spent a little minute on that. And so we're going to move on to run defense, right? Because that was really important how we reset our run defense, right? So let's be honest. In that NFC title game, our defense got steamrolled, right? Philly ran at will. Them boys had 268 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. We all remember the first play of scrimmage for them, right? Saquon Barkley to the house. That's why Jeremy Chin not here. That's why Dante Fowler not here. On that play, y'all done a replay and y'all had this burned in my brain. On that play, they got washed. Had my man Bobby looking crazy, got him tripped up because they got washed inside. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And we can't have that. So what do? We rebuilt our trenches, man, right? Coming back for year 2 is Johnny Newton, right? He had 2 foot surgeries last year, right, before training camp. He didn't have a training camp last year. Most people forget that. He still had an impactful rookie season. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't on the level of a Mikey Sainers still for a second-round pick, right? But he did have an impact. And if that first-round grade that he had in the 2024 draft is any indication on what we may get from Johnny Newton this year, I am excited. I am excited because he's definitely started to show signs as the season progressed, even into the playoffs and things like that. So definitely looking forward to see what he could do there, especially with the amount of snaps that should open up for him as we get into these, as our run defense has been boosted up, and he's going to be in more pass sets and things like that. But I think he can play the run as well. He's just going to have to work on setting his foundation and being able to hold his position and things like that. But I think with that NFL weightlifting program, he's probably going to be a dog. Like he might be able to sit in the anchor real well this year. We're going to see. We're going to see real soon because who we play in the preseason. So a lot of run-heavy teams. So we're going to see. Javon Kinlaw, the big guy, the monster in the middle, who probably going to play a little edge for us. Like, interesting assignment. I know most people complaining the fact that, oh, he got a 3-year, $45 million deal, $15 million a year. It's not really $15 million a year. Most people just do the easy math and say it's 15 a year. It's not that, honestly. It's a little lower than 15 this year, and I want to say it's like 18 next year. So if they want to get out of it, they can. But if he's performed, hey, 18 million is like middle of the pack for defensive tackles. These defensive tackles are getting paid. Like, they're getting 20, 25, $30 million a year almost, some of them. And then you got Dietrich Wise, man, right? I didn't know much about Dietrich Wise. I listened to a lot of reports from a lot of the reporters really across the nation as the free agency period was going on. They mentioned how Dietrich Wise was underrated. He can play the run and the pass. He can move around a little bit. He's a good vet. So definitely looking forward to seeing that. And then we get Eddie Goldman, right? Now, I'm going to take Rio's stance, right? My man rambling with Rio, he had a good stance, right? If you coming out of retirement to play, I don't know what your heart is in the game. So you got to show me, prove it to me. And we going to see, because training camp, when he get to them dog days of training camp, we going to see what Eddie Goldman really about. Is he stopping that run? Is he making impact? Is he able to anchor? Is he able to be physical, right? Like, that's what we want. We need these big guys, these 330-pound behemoths, to reset our line, right? Because we got a Daron Payne, Johnny Newton. Those D tackles, I really don't care much about our edges. I know we picked up Von Miller. That's amazing, because we do need a guy from the edge that can rush. But I want our pressure to come from the middle. I want our pressure to come from our D tackles, man, right? That way Frankie Louvu is able to fly through that A gap, right? That's way Von Miller, when he bat around the edge, that push from the middle has pushed the quarterback back and around. He's running right into the edge, man. Like, that's what you want. Like, he can't step up into the pocket and get that pass off. And if you watched any of our games last year, a lot of our pressure, right, that would have, I would say, curved some of the games, especially when we wanted our defense to get off the field for us, because the defense didn't win us any games last year. If we would have pressure in the middle, defense could have won us in games last year. You got to get the pressure in the quarterback face. They do not like that. No one likes pressure in their face, man. No one. So we definitely got to get that going, man, because we want our front to be elite. Like, if Newton develops and Daron Payne, contract Payne, hey, listen, man. If he here, I don't need nothing but 7 sacks and a lot of pressures. You know what I'm saying? Give me a turnover or two. Just be a havoc. And I just want people to wreak havoc, man. Like, I want the D-line to wreak havoc, man. Like, in order for that to happen, like, that's going to be important to the other areas on the defense, the linebacker group, the secondary. It all plays hand in hand, right? And you love to see it. And we definitely want all these pieces on our defense to come together, right? Because we have championship aspirations. And this is important, right? So let's actually talk about some breakout candidates, right? Quick little segue. So every camp has surprises. And usually you're thinking about people like that. Sometimes you're thinking about off the radar players, and sometimes you're thinking about on the radar. For me, for the way our roster's built, we got first, second, third year players that we thinking to be breakout candidates, right? And it's amazing. Quan Martin, 3rd year, right? One of the only Ron Rivera picks that we like, right? He played with 2 separated shoulders last year. 2. All right. And he was balling in that Detroit game. And I feel like with another season with Joe Witt, because Joe Witt is a DB mind, right? He's going to be able to unlock some things in his game. Like, he already got good speed and good awareness, but him coming away with the football is key, right? He already puts a good cap on the defense for us. We just need those takeaways by fumble, by interception, by any means necessary, right? I would say another breakout candidate. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be Ben Sinnott for me. I need some Ben Sinnott love, man. In the red zone. I need that. Like, give Zach Ertz a little break. Right? We can't have Zach Ertz. We can't rely on Zach Ertz for 17 games, 17 plus games, like fully healthy. You want to be able to spell Zach Ertz so that he can have some time in the second and third quarter where he's not needed, right? So you really want that. You really want Ben Sinnott, another second round pick, to really develop because he was a dog in college. Like my guy Josh over at JTFB, he loves Ben Sinnott, man. Like he really said he was the second best tight end in the class behind Brock Bowers last year. And we didn't get to see nothing from him. I think he had 5 catches, 25 yards, and 1 touchdown. It was crazy. He had one really good catch for us, that fake punt from Tressway. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But okay. Last breakout candidate that I'm gonna touch on it. I'm gonna touch on right now. I'm gonna say if we want to get to where we want to go, it's gonna be Jordan McGee. Like, listen, man. He is like, it's like they made that dude in the lab. That's what Smoot always say. And he right. Like him, heir apparent to Bobby Wagner, like the fact that, I mean, he's like a Luvu athleticism, but he plays the mic. Right? And then like I'm so looking forward to those 3 linebacker sets with him, with McGee, Wagner, and Luvu on the field, because McGee can cover. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see him blitzing with Luvu, right? And let one of the other safeties and corners do their thing, because we wasn't protecting the corners and safeties last year. I want us to blitz earlier in the season, like blitz a lot earlier in the season, just to get at teams and see what we got. So don't sleep on Jordan McGee, man. I think he's going to be a good candidate for us as long as he can stay healthy. Health is critical for everybody, right? But really, players that didn't get a chance to show what they really was about as rookies that had a lot of promise. Remember, Joe Witt said they had a whole package for the guy last year. So if they had a package from last year, you can only imagine what they've installed for him this year, as long as he can make sure he stays healthy and does the things that you need him to do on the field. And we're going to see. We are going to see how that goes, how that comes about. And let's just keep going with this youth movement that we got in Washington. Like, they say we're the oldest team in NFL. I think we're 27 and a half years old or something like that. But, that's really inflated by a few players. Other than that, man, we are young, man. Like, you talking our rookies. You got Josh Conerly, Trey Amos. Josh Conerly going to be a starter week 1. Trey Amos, he a physical press corner, and we need him to start week 1. Jalen Lane, starter week 1. He's a punt returner, kick returner, and he's going to be battling for that 3 or that 4 spot at the wide receiver room, right? Kane Madrano, special teams demon, potentially as well. And the special teams demon part is how he's going to initially like really carve out his role, but I think they're going to try to find him some snaps on defense, ideally to kind of lower Luvu and Wagner's snap count, because they was playing 99% of the snaps last year on average, and that's crazy. And you all know our camp darling, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, right? Fan favorite already, man. JCM. We really want him to emerge as running back 1 ideally running back 1 in a running back by committee effort, right? That's really what I want to see. But I do want to see him break out as running back 1 in that committee, right? So he still gets the lion's share of the carries. For year 2 players, that's that I want to see, really step out. I mean, I already mentioned Jordan McGee and Ben Sinnott, right, as your red zone weapon for Ben, and then for Jordan McGee, getting your reps up when Wagner's resting. But you got Jerzon Newton I mentioned earlier as well. Core to the run defense as well as that pass defense, because he's explosive, man. And then you got Dom Hampton. I want to see what he looks like. I'm intrigued. He even got the guy at the back end, JPP, right? See what he's doing. Like, as far as the edge rush, I think he got a little sack last year, and we was all like, okay. So, I mean, we got a lot of youth, man. A lot of players in the last 2 drafts that we have. I mean, that's not even counting some of the practice squad players that we got. That is probably not going to make much of an impact besides helping get the starters and the regular rotation players sharp for the season. And I mean, that's vital in itself. Like, really, really looking forward to seeing how these guys step up, man, into their new roles. Um, Obviously, the best year two player that we got is Jayden Daniels. I didn't have to say that. You guys know that already. You know, top quarterback, top player under 25 in the NFL, all that good stuff, man. You know, always got to shout JD out, man. If you rocking with JD like I'm rocking with JD, and you rocking with the Commanders like I'm rocking with the Commanders, please hit that like button and subscribe, man. We on the road to 1K, baby. We trying to get there, and we trying to do it the right way. Build out this squad the right way, man. So let's talk about how Dan Quinn, right? Because I mentioned that we have an old roster, an older team, if you will. You remember what Dan Quinn did last year for Cleveland Farrell and Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. He rested them. He gave them vet rest days, right? It's a chance. When you have vet rest days, it's a chance for a young guy to make their case. And we got a lot of young guys that I just mentioned that's trying to get a chance to get 20% of snaps. You know what I'm saying? 10% of snaps. Whatever you can get your hands on, they trying to get. And think about it. When we in training camp, you're going to be able to rest the vets like Bobby, Von Miller, and Tunsil, right? But you got people behind them that can use those reps, right? Think about it. When Bobby Wagner takes a rest, you got Jordan McGee, Dom Hampton, Kane Madrano that's going to get an opportunity to get some run. When Von Miller gets a rest, that's when you might want to see Jordan McGee off the edge and things of that nature. You might get a JPP. You might get Dom coming off the edge or something like that. Something crazy. When Tunsil gets a break, you might get to see Conerly jump over to the left side right quick to continue to work on aspects of his game and things of that nature. You might see Brandon Coleman rotate quickly over to left tackle to see if he can be a backup swing tackle as well as the starting guard. So, you just want to make sure that you get in those extra reps from these players so they getting their work in, they getting that development in that you need to see in order for us to get to where we trying to go. Where we trying to go, y'all? Super Bowl. That's the goal. That's it. That's all. Right? Speaking of Dan Quinn, his coaching staff stayed together this year. That was very key, very vital, man. Like, we needed Cliff and Joe Witt and all of their subordinates, if you will, to come back and return and to make sure the continuity stays together. It's rare, it's powerful, it's a beautiful thing. It's not the end all to be all, but it's something to be said about coaches turning down opportunities to get promotions in a league where that's not always available to you, right? Dan Quinn's obviously built something special here, and we get to see it. We get to witness it. That's why we excited. The fans are in a fervor because of it. And it sounds like the coaches are in that same fervor. It sounds like the coaches are fans of the team just like we are. And that's amazing to see, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? Let's talk about the cornerback room because we did mention how Joe Witt is a cornerback mind. Let's talk about these DBs. Rookie Trey Amos, right? Former Pro Bowler Marshawn Lattimore. We hope he returns to that form this season. If we can get that, yes, sir. Mike Sainristil, I think he might make the pro. I think he's going to be Pro Bowl Mikey this year, right? I think we looking at defensive rookie of the year, Trey Amos potentially. All he needs is an opportunity. The boy got the swag and he got the mentality. He physical, he press. He can play zone and man, right? Interchangeable with Mikey as well as Marshawn. And then don't forget about Jonathan Jones. Like, the key about the cornerback depth is these players are interchangeable. Like, at the same time, they can play their own area, if you will. So I don't got to worry about Marshawn traveling with somebody. Marshawn, you play this side. Trey, you play that side. Mikey, you play right here in the middle. You play the slot. Jonathan Jones, you play the other slot. You know, when things go and people go in motion, I got this guy now, you got that guy. Just pick, you know what I'm saying? They could just trade people off. So all that cross matching and things like that, we ain't got to worry about rub routes and things of that nature. As long as the communication is key. But I don't think we're gonna have to worry about communication. Mikey be talking, right? Mikey be talking like he the captain out there. And then you got players in that safety room that's worked with Marshawn before, as well as him already being here from last year. So that communication from Marshawn and Mikey to Jonathan Jones, Trey Amos, and that safety group is going to be key because Quan Martin, again, like I said, he be capping everything off. So it's really going to be interesting on how that looks. Again, I will say this. Back to that Terry front. Another reason why I want Terry McLaurin to be here is so that Trey Amos can get that work. So Marshawn Lattimore can get that work. So Mikey Sanders still can get that work. Right? I want Terry to be blowing the doors off these boys in training camp. And I want to see them compete. Right? I want to see Jayden Lane versus Trey Amos. We're going to see that. Then I want him to have to go right up against Terry right after that. A different body, a different type of receiver. Still got speed, but different, right? Contested catch demon, right? Don't matter how good you play, you got to play to the whistle against Terry, right? And that's going to teach them boys a lot. Obviously, it made Mikey better. He got another year under his belt, and he gets to, kind of lead these younger guys that we got in the cornerback room. Like I said, the Trey Amos and then some of the undrafted guys, right? Again, Marshawn and Jonathan Jones are proven vets. We just need Marshawn to stay healthy, to be healthy. And it sounds like it sounds like he a dog. It sounds like he took ownership of his situation last year, how he wanted to prove himself. He might have rushed himself back a little too soon. That's usually what happens. So ideally, he's coming into this training camp in the best shape of his life because he's fighting for another contract. Money makes everybody do work. And he want more money. You don't want to keep bouncing around. You're getting older. You want to get a nice little home, get another 3 to 5 years out of the league, and piece it out. So, again, training camp, it won't necessarily define the pecking order because we kind of know where everything's slotted, but we know how Dan Quinn and his coaching staff get down. Ain't none of these rookies guaranteed a starting spot until they show it. So, Trey, you got to show it, man. You got to earn your stripes, man. You got to go through that battle. And what best way to do it than going against Terry McLaurin in practice? A freshly paid, highly motivated Terry McLaurin. That's what we looking forward to, man. That is what we are looking forward to, man. And speaking of Terry McLaurin, listen, y'all, we got 2 huge joint sessions on the way as far as joint practices. August 6th versus the Patriots and August 23rd versus the Ravens. Hey, we need Terry signed before we go to joint practices. Point blank, period. If Terry ain't signed by joint practices, I'm going to be at like a 7.5 out of 10. I'm going to be looking crazy over here on YouTube. Please, y'all. Please, Commanders, don't have me looking crazy. And then we go August 23rd versus the Ravens, right? The Ravens practice is going to be a real test, man. Now, I'm not saying the Patriots aren't, because they're going to be gritty, They got a revamped defensive line. They got an interesting wide receiver room. They got some running backs over there. So we're going to see. We're going to see what the Patriots talking about. But the Ravens going to be that test. That run defense is going to be up. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait. That's really what we can't. That's what we're going to see the metal get tested, right? What is really going to be. That's our true dry run before the season. And it's not the game. It's the joint practice. When we watch the game, it's going to be like, oh, okay. I see what the backups are doing. That joint practice, we're gonna be on Twitter trying to get all the Zach Selby updates from that joint. But again, that's when we'll see who's really ready and who's really ready to start fast for us this year. Because we got to start fast. We got to start fast. No record predictions right now, but I want us to win every game, obviously. Right? Hey, in this segment, we're gonna talk about the stadium name. So listen. Woo! Trump has entered the chats. The name controversy is trying to make a comeback. Will DC get it done, or what? Or are we waiting to next season on if we move into RFK or not? This whole name thing, I don't really care too much about it. Whatever the team name is, I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me. I'm a fan of the team, not the team name. You know what I'm saying? The merch is gonna be the merch. I'm gonna cop it regardless. Most fans, the true fans, they're gonna cop it regardless, and they're gonna rock it with pride, man. And if you feeling that way, then you need to rock with me. Hit the subscribe button, man. We on the road to 1K. That's much appreciated if you do that. Much appreciated. And to start to close this out here, remember, this is the biggest training camp for Washington in about 30 years, man. I'll be breaking it down every step of the way. So if you fired up for JD, you want that real analysis, not just hot takes, and you want to grow with my team, baby, hit the subscribe button. We're at 164 subscribers. We trying to get to that 1K. I'm Gerard B, and this is Gerard B TV. Where burgundy and gold, we never fold, baby. Let's get it.